Welcome to the Sheffield United away match preview ahead of a Tuesday night under the lights at Bramall Lane. Our opponents for this one, Bristol City, but United are the story here. We are looking to try and take advantage of a rare lead slip-up on Sunday. They lost at Portsmouth, meaning United have the chance to end this game on top of the Championship. Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole. Yes, indeed. So Saturday, I would say, was the first properly sunny day that we've been able to have this season at Bramall Lane. And it was Paul Heckingbottom returning to a sight of former glory, shall we say, as he brought his Preston team to Bramall Lane. But I actually thought this one, United were very good for the first hour or so. I thought we were dominant. I thought we had complete control of the game. Preston weren't able to get out. They weren't creating. We'd just taken complete control through midfield to make sure that they couldn't hurt us or damage us. I thought, to be honest, we should have been 1-0 up in 2 minutes. Never mind what happened after that and anything else that we created. There was two huge chances, both through 𝗬𝗏 𝗵𝗵 and then potentially a comedy own goal that from my angle was top corner all the way. But alas, it was not meant to be. But 𝗬𝗏 𝗵𝗵 continued his unbelievable season so far. He netted just around the hour mark. But then things went a little bit stale, I felt, as has seemed to happen in recent weeks. It's happened against Leeds. It happened in a few of our games recently. Once we made those subs, I thought we got relatively worse in terms of our game management. We allowed Preston to come back into it, to press onto us. They had a couple of chances and Michael Cooper was probably as busy. Well, it was twice as busy as he'd been in the rest of the afternoon, but as busy as he'd been for just a little while at Bramall Lane. And so for how much control we'd had was a little bit disappointing to see us, well, not quite as comfortable as we should have been by the end of the game. Now, Bristol City, they have been chasing the playoffs all season. They keep getting close, falling away, and getting close and falling away. And it's the story again this weekend. They were playing Hull at home. Hull went down to 10 men, and they just could not break them down to get that win. They did equalise to get a 1-1 draw, but it's left them dripping further away from sixth spot. So it's a big game for them as well, as they really want to try and catch up to those teams just hanging on to that last place in the playoffs. Now, before we move on to our team news, let me, of course, thank our video sponsors, which is 𝗂𝗄𝗃 Bar and Grill. Now, 𝗂𝗂𝗃 is a stunning premium bar, which is set over 2 floors. It's got 2 bars, it's got a separate restaurant area, and it has luxury, unique VIP boxes for private hire for if you and your friends just want that extra special experience on your night out. Now, I would say that 𝗂𝗂𝗃 is Sheffield's ultimate social experience, and it is the perfect place for the Sheffield United way to be enjoying this season, to be celebrating with United fans. It is our designated pre- and post-match bar, and so please do make sure you go in there to check it out. They have all the live football, and it's the perfect spot, situated just 5 minutes away from Bramall Lane at the entrance to New Era Square. Please do go and check out 𝗂𝗃𝗃 Bar and Grill. Now, United have got a decent record so far against Bristol City. I was shocked by this, because in my head, they're a bogey team. In my head, I'm always thinking, ooh, don't like playing Bristol City. They normally do all right. But we've won 5 of our last 6 games against them. So I went back to look at some of those games to try and get them right in my memory. And the reason that I'm a little bit worried whenever we play Bristol City is because those last 3 victories in a row that we've done have been a little bit what you might call a smash and grab. They've not been fantastic performances, but United, as they have done all season, have a way of grinding them out. And that has never been better exemplified than it was in the reverse fixture earlier this season. United went behind in the 75th minute, but still managed to come back to take all 3 points, thanks to the first career goal for United for Ryan One and a very, very, very last-minute winner from Harrison Burrows after they'd had a little bit of a red card in the 95th minute, when they thought they might just about hang on for a point. Now, I've also gone back just a little bit further to think, why am I haunted? What haunts me about Bristol City? And the answer is a Saturday afternoon in the bright sunshine in 2019, when Andy Weimann got a Bramall Lane hat-trick and they beat us 3-2, and I was certain that we'd just bottled automatic promotion. I was wrong. We went up. Let's move on. Let's beat Bristol City, as we always seem to do. Now, against Preston, both Hamer and Sousa appeared to be subbed early after picking up a couple of knocks. And so they're potentially a doubt for this game midweek, which is a big concern for me. Obviously, we've got another huge game on the horizon at the weekend, but focusing on this one, this is not easy. They're chasing the playoffs. They're a good side. And so missing those two players could be absolutely crucial to United's chances of continuing the good form and picking up 3 points. We also know that Gilchrist and Clark will both be unavailable. And so whether or not it's 𝗍𝗫𝗍 or 𝗬𝗏 at right back, that seems to be the only options that we have available at the minute. As well, this is the middle game of a 3-game week. And we've seen this all season. Wilder likes to make changes during 3-game weeks. So I'm predicting, this is not the team I'd go with, but I am predicting what Wilder's going to do for this game is Cooper in goal, a back four of 𝗍𝗫𝗍, Ennell, Robinson, McCallum, a midfield 2 of Chowdhury and Peck, 3 behind the striker of 𝗍𝗫𝗍, O'Hare and Benborough and Diaz, and it'll be Tom Cannon that starts at centre forward, giving Tyrese Campbell a little bit of a rest because we know he struggles with his muscles, we know he can get tired, and we know he has to come off early in most games, so giving him a rest when we get the chance might not be a bad option. Now, I myself wouldn't necessarily do that. I'd like to see Campbell start. If Campbell doesn't start, I'd actually like to see 𝗣𝗲𝗻 being given that opportunity if he is fit enough to start a game of football, because I think he gives us presence. He's able to hold the ball up in just a way that I've not seen from Cannon so far this season. But let me know what you think. What would you do for this game? Do you think Wilder is going to make the predicted changes, or do you think he's going to keep us guessing, as is very much his one? As I always say, trying to predict a Wilder lineup is like trying to catch smoke. You've got no chance. No, I know. I know. It's a Harry Potter quote. Leave me be. So, moving on to our opposition team news. And to run the rule over our opposition, we have Annie Harris from the 1894 podcast. Annie is fantastic, and I look forward to hearing what he's got to say about this game.
Hello, everyone. So, from a Bristol City perspective, this is obviously a really tough game, and probably, we've got 3 really tough away fixtures to go, but this is up there in terms of toughest away games of the season, just toughest games of the season, toughest opposition of the season. And Bristol City definitely did not want that result on the weekend as a kind of foundation to come into this one. A really frustrating 1-1 draw against Hull, where obviously we played that game 80 odd minutes or more than that with an extra man, and failed to capitalise in terms of getting 3 points. We hold ourselves level. But yeah, the inability to... We created chances from open play. We created some big chances that we should have taken, but for sustained periods of time, we had loads of possession, did not quite do enough with it. 89% of the ball in the second half, and I think 1.2 something XG, with obviously a penalty in there. I think shows how much we struggle to create regular chances. But anyway, we're not going to go into this game having a load of the ball. I wouldn't expect anyway. Sheffield United, there's been kind of labels thrown at you as having there, where it's kind of been lucky, but second, could be first if it wasn't for the points deduction. This is a really, really difficult game, and Bristol City are going to have to, line up and tweak things to kind of match that. However, we haven't got that much kind of options to kind of bring in at the moment due to injuries. Luke McNally, who's probably been our star centre-back this season and contributed to a pretty good defensive structure and shape for the whole of the season. He's out with an ACL injury, and he's not going to be fit for a long time. Unfortunately, Ross McCrory, who is a right wing back option and would be the preferred option at right wing back, he's also out for a pretty significant period of time. So 2 defensive options already not there, and only 2 fit centre backs at the football club at the moment. So I think it will be Max Cleary in goal, as it always has been. It will be a back 5. Probably with Mark Sykes right wing back, George Tanner and Zach Viner and Rob Dickey as 3 centre backs, and it'll probably be campering left wing back. Don't be surprised though if Hayden Roberts was to come in for Sykes, for example, and George Tanner, who's naturally a right back, moves to right wing back. Something like that wouldn't overly surprise me. I expect Jason Knight and Max Bird in the middle of the park, as has been for a while now. Scott Twine will more than likely start for Bristol City. George 𝗍𝗍𝗍, I think, is going to be the only change. I think he'll come in for Hans Mehmeti, who started and scored, to be fair, but I think the rotation and the short turnaround might be a factor, so I think he'll come in. And Sinclair Armstrong will play, probably, as a number 9, with Nahki Wells being unfit. And even if he was fit for this one, he'd your bench option, considering he's been unfit for a while. All of that considered, and I think a general feeling that this is kind of a free hit. It would have been nice to win on Saturday and come into this with a real free hit, and anything would have been a great result. I think it's going to be really difficult for Bristol City, and I think we are probably going to lose. And Sheffield are probably going to keep a clean sheet. I think they will do enough to shut us out, unfortunately. 0-0 though would be a fantastic result for us, but I think the attacking quality, Diaz, Cannon, O'Hare, etc., 𝗍𝗍𝗲𝗍, I think they're going to be too much for us. I'm going to go 2-0 to Sheffield United.
Thank you very much for that, Annie, and he is a top man and certainly somebody to follow. For any Bristol City fans who have joined us to watch this preview today, please do go and check out Annie's work. Now, the referee for Sheffield United against Bristol City is a man called Stephen Martin, and I did check this just to make sure, but no, it is not the Stephen Martin who does the data in my office at work, which is a shame, because I reckon for a good cup of coffee, I could have bribed him for a penalty or two, but alas, it is not meant to be. This Stephen Martin has taken charge of 25 games so far this season, and he has issued 104 yellows, an average of more than 4 a game, and that is a lot of yellow cards to be given out, especially when you then realise he's only given one red card all season, which is very, very low. So he obviously likes getting involved early and then completely bottles the big decisions as and when they come, although he has given 3 penalties. Again, slightly on the low side when you look at his average across all of those games. He hasn't actually reffed United this season, but he has reffed us twice before in his career, and we've won both. So I have no complaints. I like you, Stephen. Crack on. In terms of Bristol City, he's reffed them 4 times, and they are yet to win a game. They have drawn 3 and lost once when he has been the man in the middle. We now come to our player connections, and the player connections are brought to you by 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗵. 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗵 are a virtual band, and many of their members are huge Blades fans. So please do go and check out 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗵.com. Their latest album is called 𝗤𝗿𝗵 of 10 Girls. It is outstanding, and you can get it on any of your normal streaming sites, but do go and check out 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹𝗵.com. Now, we always pick 4 players who have played for both, but I did the reverse fixture preview, and I had a nightmare. I was rubbish at it. Couldn't think of any players. We ended up calling it the Diego de Girolamo Derby. That is how much I was scraping the barrel. So for a little bit of help this time, I reached out to Statman Adam from our Patreon group, and Statman has done a fantastic job picking out 4 key men who have played for both. So starting us off, Jamal Campbell-Rice. He played 62 times for Bristol City during his time with the club. He then joined United while we were in League One, making 37 appearances, but not leaving a huge mark behind him, shall we say. Martin Wolford is another man who has played for both, and while his time at United isn't remembered that fondly for what he did on the pitch, he did a fantastic interview with Hal and Nick about his time with United and some of his other struggles. It really is outstanding. It's one of the reasons I wanted to be involved with the channel, because doing interviews like that felt really important, to be honest, at the time. So please do go and check that out if you haven't, because it's an outstanding interview, and you can find it further down this channel. A perennial Blades favourite is up next, Simon Moore. He spent half a season on loan with Bristol City in 2014, only making 11 appearances. But of course, he then became a legend and an icon at Bramall Lane for his fantastic time with Sheffield United. But particularly, we will always remember him for his role as the number 1 as we got 100 points and finally escaped from League One after all those years being stuck in a really, really miserable division. So we will always love and remember Simon Moore, a great man and a fantastic servant to Sheffield United Football Club. Now, finally, there's a big game at the weekend, and it's playing on my mind already. I know we focus on the one in front of you, but it's in the back of my mind. And so who better to remember, who better for us to shout out than 𝗍𝗍𝗶𝗹𝗵? He got 21 goals in 47 games for Bristol City just before the turn of millennium, before he joined United as part of our promotion party in 2006. But of course, in terms of his actual impact at the club, the biggest moment, the reason that he will always be remembered in red and white, is for scoring a beauty of a goal. Took a terrible first touch, but let's forget it, because he still managed to rifle it home, and he sealed the victory for us at Hillsborough in the derby. Let's hope we have another hero that we're celebrating this weekend. Now, let us know in the comments, who are you thinking of? Who have we missed? Who has Statman Adam missed? Don't blame it on me this time. Who has Adam missed in terms of our played for both? And who would you like to see shouted out the next time we play Bristol City? And I'm sat here thinking, God, I still can't think of anybody. Please do help me out. Finally, we come to our score predictions. And if you'd like your score prediction to be read out as part of our pre-match previews and get a whole host of other benefits, including a fantastic group chat where we can talk all things United all day for as long as you like, please do head to patreon.com/Sheff United Way, because it's massive for us and it really helps us to keep doing what it is that we love doing so much for all the United fans out there. So, our score predictions, what have we got? Richard Grayson has predicted a 2-0 home win. He wants another clean sheet because that's what he thinks is the important part of this game. Greg and June have both agreed with him. They both think it'll be 2-0 to the Blades. Hal, slightly less confident, shall we say? He's gone 2-1 to United. Doesn't think we're going to get that all-important clean sheet. Ollie, he's probably on a par with Hal, let's say. He thinks we will get the clean sheet, but we'll only score 1. He's gone for another 1-0 home victory, while 2 members of our chat gone a little bit insane, I'm going to say. I think they've lost their marbles a little bit. So Lewis and 𝗞𝗂𝐶𝐁 have gone massive for United to get a home win. Lewis thinks it's going to be a 3-0, whereas 𝗞𝗂𝐶𝐁 has gone even further than that. He thinks United win this game 4-0, albeit he was willing to add a caveat that obviously Wilder may make changes which could affect his prediction and how this game plays out. Myself, I struggled with this one. Like I say, in my head, bogey team. Doesn't play out in any of the data, but in my head, they're a massive bogey team. I think this is going to be a really difficult game, and if we do make changes, we really have to be strong. We really have to come through what is a massive test midweek at Bramall Lane before what we know is on the horizon at the weekend. We've got to focus and get as many points as we can. We've got to win this game, because that way we get more of a chance to have a free hit at the weekend. I'm saying that United will win this one 2-1. I think it might be that the subs change the game just as they did at Ashton Gate. But let's just hope it's a positive result. Let's hear your predictions. Tell me what you think. How do you think this game's going to play? Tell us in the comments of this one. And hopefully we'll all be predicting a win and celebrating a massive 3 points come 10 o'clock on Tuesday night. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me here for this match preview. Whether you've watched or listened along, it is hugely appreciated. Up the Blades.
𝗚𝗿𝗶𝗴𝗍